On the eve of the final stage of the 109th Tour de France, Wout van Aert won the time trial. Jonas Vingegaard effectively secured his victory in the yellow jersey competition, and Jumbo-Visma was celebrating for the first time in their history. Over 3.5 minutes of a lead for Vingegaard heading on to the Champs-Élysées, the mostly processional stage with the racing on the final few laps, meaning that Denmark could celebrate a first Tour victory since 1996. A super show, 3 weeks, possibly the best race ever, certainly one of them. La Défense Arena was the venue for the start of the final 115-kilometre stage, just from the west of Paris in its financial district, in and around the Yvelines, Hauts-de-Seine, and back into the French capital for a truly remarkable, stunning, scenic finish. The last day of the men's race was taking place on the first day of the revamped women's race, Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, each and every day live and on demand on Discovery Plus and GCN Plus. As the women finished their first stage of their new race, the men began their final stage. Vingegaard, Van Aert, as well as Pogačar, putting on a show even from the first few pedal strokes. The good-natured rivalry of this tour continued, as did the surprises. It was all for show. It was a slow procession to Paris, with a clink of the champagne glass, showing off of brand new artwork on bikes, and plenty of celebration for those who'd been involved. Jumbo-Visma made their Tour debuts in 1984. This was their first victory after a few podium places in the last few years. Once the riders got past the Louvre, across the finish line for the first time, the racing really began. One more stage up for grabs, 50-odd kilometres to race up and down one of the most famous boulevards in the whole of sport. La Patrouille de France were in town. The national colours shown off, and the message of liberté, égalité, fraternité, perhaps meaningful more than ever in the world of cycling. Time for the first attacks. With 30-odd kilometres to go, they came, they went, and they were launched again. No group really able to get a gap until this one went, just inside 30 kilometres from the finish. EF Education, Easy Post, Groupama, FDJ and Bora Hansgrohe all committed. They managed to get just under 30 seconds, but were brought back by the time it was time for the last lap. On the final lap, there was an attack from Pipo Ganna, launched by third-place finisher Geraint Thomas, and Tadej Pogačar, true to his word, true to his attacking spirit and entertaining nature, would also have a go. But the sprint teams wanted this opportunity too much. They continue to work, and work hard they would all the way to the line to set things up. Through Norwegian corner, onto the Rue de Rivoli, Place Concorde, the final right turn with 700 metres to go nowadays, and it will be Bike Exchange who'd lead it out for Dylan Groenewegen. He started his sprint early, too early perhaps, as Jasper Philipsen could come round him. Peter Sagan was launching, Alexander Kristoff was there or thereabouts, but it would be Philipsen who would hold on to it, with Groenewegen and Kristoff there or thereabouts. Philipsen taking his second stage win of the Tour de France. A brilliant result for the Alpecin Phoenix man from Belgium. Caleb Ewan boxed in a little bit. Philipsen the clear winner. Nobody else in the picture. Philipsen beating Groenewegen, Kristoff, Stuyven and Sagan, with Le Croc, the Parisian, in 6th place. Celebrations just behind them for Team Jumbo-Visma. Wout van Aert not deciding to contest the sprint this year, instead rolling home with Jonas Vingegaard, who won the Tour de France, ahead of Tadej Pogačar and Geraint Thomas, finishing on the podium at 36 years of age. Super scenes on the Champs-Élysées, and Jonas Vingegaard, the first Danish winner since 1996. The final top 10 looking like this. Gaudu 4th, Vlasov in 5th on debut, with Quintana taking home another top 10. Wout van Aert will win the green jersey, the biggest points margin in the modern era. and Tadej Pogačar, the best young rider for the third year running. This time it wouldn't be yellow as well, but a brilliant white jersey win for the young Slovenian. Jonas Vingegaard was also the king of the mountains. The third year running that the GC winner was also the race's best climber. The team classification this year taken home by Ineos Grenadiers, one of the few teams to finish with 8 men. They took a stage win through Tom Pidcock, and Geraint Thomas finished third. The super combatif, the most combative rider of the whole race, was Wout van Aert. And the Tour finished in Paris for yet another year. Sun setting on a wonderful men's tour, 109th edition of the race, one of the most memorable. The racing continues though on Discovery Plus and GCN Plus with the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift live and on demand.